Doktor Burna kanalına hoş geldiniz arkadaşlar. Bugün Sherlock Holmes'un Suçlar ve Cezalar adlı 25. bölümüyle tekrardan devam ediyoruz. Bu arada Sherlock Holmes serisini beğeniyorsanız beğenmeyi, abone olmayı, paylaşmayı unutmayın. Yorum yaparsanız da sevinirim. En son bu şeyleri araştırmıştık. İşte sembol kime ait, hangi şirkete, o işaretler neyi işaret ediyor falan derken kurbanın nasıl düştüğünü, nasıl yaralandığını, nasıl zehirlendiğini görerek organlarını araştırmıştık. Yani bir otopsi yapmıştık. Şimdi ne yapacağız? K bahçelerine doğru tekrar bir dönüş yapacağız. Orada şeylerle buranın yeni müdürüyle ve müdürün oğluyla konuşacağız ve o kilitli kapıları açıp bir olayı aydınlatacağız iyice. Tam biteceğini sanmıyorum ama bakalım, göreceğiz neler olacak. Biz dinleyelim. Şimdi Marty Hamish'le konuşalım tekrardan. Koloni odasından başlayalım. Ne olduğunu açıklar mısınız? Evet, bir açığa çıkaralım artık.
Most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure then, but you're the deputy director.
Yani.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Nerede olamazsın ama müdür dedin, yani bir şeyleri kontrol edip bir şey yapar yani. Anahtarları.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Bu adamın da bir şeyi var ama ben bu adamı bir türlü çözemedim. Şimdi öldürücü bitkiler hakkında bir şeyler söyleyebilir misiniz?
Do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Dünle ile ilgili.
How was your relationship with
ilişkiniz nasıldı?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder perhaps that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Ya bunun böyle söylemesi saçma bir şey ya. Sanki asıl sanki Ali geçiriyormuş gibi gibime geliyor ya.
Celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student?
Düşünceniz neler?
Useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was.
Oh yes.
Evet.
He
Başka?
forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure.
Bak bir yandan da çocuğu koruyor. Bak şey bir adam değil sonuçta. Ama pek güvenebilecek bir tip değil.
Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
Bu bayanla da bir tanışalım. Margaret White kim?
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. If only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
Neden
The
saf
way
olarak
she used to
görüyorsunuz?
flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Ha tamam. Ben de bir şey var sandım. Tekrardan devam edelim. Tekrar o ölen adamın oğluyla konuşalım. Babanızla ilişkiniz ne derecedeydi?
May have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Aynen öyle, aynen öyle. Hiç umudunu kaybetme, sen olabilirsin.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Yani
At the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
kapı anahtarlarını bir alma ihtimaliniz var mı?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Bayan White ile ilgili ne söyleyebilirsiniz? Kimdir o?
She is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Would you please tell
Müdürle
us
ilgili ne
about
söyleyebilirsin?
Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honor of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if you were to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Babamla ilişki nasıldı?
He hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again.
Evet, teşekkür ettik ve Albert'ın hırsıyla zehirlenme ya da ölümcül bitkilere çalındığıyla ilgili ölümcül bitki, zehirlenme, Albert bu birleşmiyor. Şimdi devam edelim mi? Sherlock. Bak, bu sefer söylemedi. Şuradan.
Dry tropics.
Ya daha demin şeyi söylemedi. Bu sefer de bunu söylüyor. Şimdi şuraya bir girelim.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Gördüm Vans. Teşekkür ederim kardeşim benim.
Open.
Aç. Evet, Margaret'la konuşalım.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Tabii öyle canım ya.
Yes, I am.
Bana da sadece
What
Sherlock'tu.
a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Bitki hırsızlığından
Yes,
bahseder
a
misiniz?
theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Bak bu kadında bir şey var ha. Bu kadın böyle sanki hiçbir bilmiyormuş gibi. Normalde bir insan böyle bir tepki vermez abi.
After the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Boşaltılan kanal ile ilgili ne söyleyebilirsiniz? Koleksiyon.
No, I have never been there.
Herkes hiçbir şey bilmiyor zaten.
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
Müdürle ilişkiniz neydi?
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature.
Oh yes,
Olağanüstü bir
indeed.
doğası.
He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his
Neden
son dearly
öyleymiş?
and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Bak. İçeri nasıl
Most of the
girdiniz?
doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this
Yani
one?
anahtarınız mı var?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Kutsal Sendika ile ilgili ne
Divine
söyleyebilirsiniz?
Syndicate. Does that name mean
Yani bir şey
anything
ifade
to you
ediyor
by
mu?
any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
Bak bak. Abi bu kadında bir şey var ya. Pembe işaretler. Vitamin eksikliği. Yani vitaminsizlikten dolayı olan şeyler. Ne görmem lazım? Ben burada bir şey kaçırıyorum. Allah Allah. Kulağından bir şey var. Allah Allah. Kemerden bir şey var. Atla bunu. Atla, hiç uğraşamayacağım. Bekar. Ha, yüzüğüne bak. Oraya geldim. Gözükmüyor değil mi? Ya abi saçmalık ya.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying.
Aynen öyle. Aynen öyle. Yalan söylüyor abi. Çok belli. Buraları bir araştıralım.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the colonial collection room.